We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls from the mains. Hello, hello, it's Rangers Radio. Hello, hello, this is the Foreign Show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rangers Radio. The Jazz are in Russia at this minute to take on Spartak Moscow. Try to keep our hopes alive of progressing unexpectedly at the start of the season from the group stages and moving on into the knockout stages. But on the panel tonight we've got Mount Vernon, and we've got Rudy, and we've got our Fox. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening, True. Evening, Mount. Evening, Fox.
Evening, gentlemen. How's it going?
Hello, guys.
That was a bit understated there, Fox. Supposed
I'm
to
a very understated guy, mate.
You're supposed to be starting a show with a bang. This show business is kind of lost on you, innit?
Do you not think you should have a wee recording of Bridgeman's wee sort of catchphrase towards the start of the show and a good start?
No. We're on holiday, mate. Bridgeman's really here. I thought he was on holiday away from him.
Anyway, everything good, boys. We are surprised they've got this far, Rudy.
I certainly am. I didn't think for a minute. I didn't even think we'd get to the group sections, True, in all honesty. I thought, if we get by sort of 2-3 rounds, I'd be happy with that. I thought third round in the qualifiers, I thought we'd come up against some real quality that maybe we'd struggle with, considering the team had only just been put together, short pre-season and stuff like that. So I am really surprised and delighted, though, as well, as sure most of the players are. It'd be a hard game tomorrow night. I think they left 6 or 7 players back home and they came to Ibrox. I would imagine most of the players will be back in their team again. I think we'll have to play better than we have done recently through to get in at the game tomorrow night. But look, we've got some quality players. There's no real reason why we can't get something from the game tomorrow. But surprised we got this far. Basically on the cusp of qualifying for the last 32. What an achievement that would be, True, eh?
No half, mate. I don't think any of us would have tipped that, Mount, eh?
Definitely. I think Woody's spot on there. I think we've came so far. For Portuguese guy still in ahead in Luxembourg to here, fantastic achievement if we can get a result tomorrow night. Top door European side, good quality. We can go there and get a result. It'd be fantastic. I think I also hear that we're potentially able to break club history tomorrow night if we can get a result as well. So fantastic opportunity for the players and the management staff to get out there and get a good victory for us.
Well said, mate. Yourself, Fox? Surprised we got this far?
Aye, delighted we got this far, and I think we'll go on further. True, I think it's all possibilities that we could get a result in Moscow tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope we play up to the best of our ability and we come back with a result, Paul.
Aye, definitely, mate. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? But as I say, completely unpredictable. But I think the team has certainly been doing better in Europe than we have domestically. I know we've discussed that a few times, about the style of play we're coming up against in Scotland and everything else. But, Villarreal away, Spartak Moscow, Rapid Vienna, there are no mugs in there. It really isn't, eh?
Most definitely. I think I don't think we've. I think Villarreal, Rapid Vienna. Rapid Vienna showed in the first half at Ibrox how good a technical side they are. Villarreal speak for themselves. The 4th, 5th best team in the Liga. Spartak Moscow. Not had a great start to the season, but they've got strength and depth and a great pedigree of players. So we've got to be immensely proud of the team and how well we're going on. I think also, True, I think you mentioned it as well, just we have our quality as well, and we've got Fortress Ibrox as well. So no, I think it should be immensely proud of the team, especially look how far we've came really as well.
Aye, I think even Rudy, if you'd have looked at that group and who we drew in the first instance, you'd say,
aye,
that's it's dodgy here. I don't see us getting much out of this.
No, I mean the three teams you've just mentioned that are in the group through, they've all got great European quality. These pedigree, these teams, they've been in and about the European competitions for a long time now. They're full of quality players, and I would imagine that each team has spent way more in their team than Rangers have. So when I first saw the draw, I thought could have been easier. I think it could also have been harder as well, though. True, but certainly could have been easier. You're talking about teams that's played in Champions League recently. Even you could go back to Maribor as well. Maribor, I'm sure were in the Champions League last season. So there's a team that competed in the Champions League last season. And we put them out. So there's been some great performances. None more so than we went down to 9 men that night. And a real backs against the wall performance. Aye, and I think that's possibly why you mentioned about the league there, True. Maybe this is why, league performances haven't been great, or maybe not what we would like to see, but it's down to the style of football we're coming up against. But maybe the performances that we've watched in Europe gave us that wee bit of hope that maybe once we started playing it, in the league, we'd be able to canter the league basically, because of how well we were doing in Europe. But it's not really turned out that way, but that's all right. I mean, the league's a different thing. We'll talk about that again at another time. But tomorrow night, I'm like Fox. I think it's going to be hard tomorrow night. I think they'll open up and play against us, and they've got some real quality players. But look, so we've got players that can hurt teams as well. If they find a bit of space through. So I'm expecting a result tomorrow, hopefully.
I hope you're right, pal. I think for me the hardest game would have been looking at it on paper would have been Villarreal away. And especially, see when you look at that, they get that goal in 40 seconds out of nothing, you're saying, here we go, here we go again. Last year's team would completely have collapsed if they were capable of getting that for Fox. I know the managers get a presser the day, and I'm sure Fox will have that lined up. We'll get that just shortly, guys. A few interesting points and a couple of injuries, unfortunately, Fox? Fox?
Sorry, pal, there. I was lining up the interview there. I'll get that. I'll have that ready when you want it. But I think the early qualifiers, for once, have helped us in Europe because we got into our stride and played well in the early qualifiers. And I think that's helped us to progress to where we are at the present time. The team found a way of playing in Europe that got us results, and it's carrying on. We're still unbeaten in it, so tomorrow night could be one of the best results that we've had in recent history, mate. If we can walk away there with 3 points, that would, if the results go our way and Villarreal win it at Rapid, that could be us qualified. So it's all or nothing tomorrow night. Go for it, try and get the 3 points. If no, it's no a big disaster. We've got another 2 attempts to come. But they could do it tomorrow night, take the pressure off ourselves if they can qualify tomorrow night, and then we can concentrate in the league, mate, because the other 2 group games wouldn't mean that much to us. So it's vital for me that we play to our best and try and get 3 points over there.
I think you're right, Fox. We've got a kind of commonality, a perspective on the game tomorrow night. Every game's a bonus we're getting in Europe at the minute. I don't think any truly think we're going to win this tournament or anything else, but I don't know, it's surprising, the team is completely surprising us all the time. But it'll be interesting to hear Steven Gerrard's take on tomorrow night. If you've got that lined up, Fox, we'll all go on mute.
In terms of the players that might not have made it here?
Bona, about, he's going to be after international duty. Against St Mirren, Ryan Kent has come off with a hamstring issue, which we are looking into at the moment. He won't be available for us over here in Moscow and at Motherwell either. So the earliest you'll probably see Ryan will be after international duty. No, Kyle's still got an issue in his quad muscle, so unfortunately hasn't made the trip either.
Does Ryan's absence in any way affect his shape?
We'll have to wait and see in terms of the shape, what we decide to go with out here. Obviously it's an opportunity for someone else or other people, certainly over the next couple of games, to come in and express themselves, but there's no getting away from it that it's a big disappointment for myself and the team, because Ryan's been in fantastic form. He's a real threat for us, but I'm sure other people are chomping at the bit for an opportunity.
Is it a tear with Ryan?
We're just looking into that at the moment.
When we were speaking to the Spartak interim coach earlier, he was saying it's one of us for them, given the nature of the group. Like that playing into your hands if there's an expensive game?
We'll have to wait and see how the game goes. I read the quotes of Raul, the interim manager, and obviously I'm aware of the group, how it's standing at the moment, and I don't think a draw does Spartak many favours, so I'm aware that they have to go for the game and go for the win. Now whether they decide to go gung-ho or have a more of a patient approach, we'll have to wait and see. But for me, what's important is what Rangers do and how we approach it, and that we make sure that we carry our game plan out.
So what's been the key factor in going away from home and getting results?
I think the players have really embraced every challenge that's been put in front of them on the European run, whether that be home or away. We've been defensively very good, very solid and aggressive and difficult to play against, whilst still carrying a threat at the other end, and it's worked for us so far. But we do realise that Spartak have got very dangerous players, good players, and I'm sure they're a little bit wounded with their own form of late, so we are respectful and realise that they might come flying out the blocks at a blistering pace. We'll have to be ready for it.
We've heard from the Spartak coach today, who's appealing to fans to get behind the team. He wasn't very happy with how they responded on Sunday. Is that something that Rangers can use maybe to your advantage if you maybe keep them quiet and the crowd start to get on their backs?
I think that we can only hope that the atmosphere is the same in the stadium, because that'll mean that we're playing well and we're doing our job. But in all honesty, the most important thing for me is what we do, what my players do, and that we carry out the game plan that's given to the players, and we come here and really embrace and express ourselves. We don't want to play in a shell like we did in the first 45 minutes of Villarreal. We want to really start strong and really show Spartak and all their supporters our intent on the night, and that's to come here and do everything we can to get a good result. I think the important thing was to get back to winning ways. It was a bit of a frustrating week. Obviously we played Spartak and played very well, but didn't get the results and the outcome we wanted, and then obviously the semi-final setback was a huge blow for us, and we wanted to get back to winning ways against Kilmarnock. Unfortunately we couldn't do that, so we had to do it against St Mirren, and I thought the players showed great patience and quality to stick with it and keep going, and we got our rewards in the end. And there's going to be a lot of games like that in the future as well, where we have to go hard for as long as we can, and we might get our rewards deep into games.
Conor, games like tomorrow night, why you join a club like Rangers?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously when I spoke to the gaffer and even spoke to people at the club, the main thing was to get into the group stages, and it shows now how big it is for the club. We've drawn against 3 tough teams, but tough teams that we fancy ourselves against, and to come to obviously stadiums like this, it's a big change from what we do week in, week out, obviously in the Scottish League, and it's just a good feeling for the players in general, and we've took confidence in the first few games with good results, so hopefully it can carry on tomorrow.
It was a bit of a containment job in Spartak in the first leg. Was it difficult to gauge how much of an attacking threat they may pose?
Yeah, I think they came to Ibrox with a game plan, probably to counter-attack, and you could see that they had the quality to do that, especially in the second half. I think when we opened up trying to get the goal, they had a few half chances on the counter-attack, but they've got good players who can hurt us, but I'm sure tomorrow won't be the same. I think that they'll come out and it'll be a much more open game than we've seen at our place.
Stephen, can I ask you about the club's appeal over Daniel Candace's dismissal at the weekend? Can you just tell us the grounds for the appeal? Because we were a bit divided whether the second yellow card could be appealed.
I've got really nothing to say on that right now. The only thing I can say is that, yeah, I'm aware that there is an appeal going on, and we're hoping that, you know, it's successful, because we feel like the player's being hard done by and is potentially going to miss a game that he shouldn't be missing, because we believe he shouldn't have got a second yellow on the day.
Well, there you go, guys. I think for me, Mount, he's sounding very confident for tomorrow night, eh?
100%. Again, as Mr. Gerrard the interview as usual. Conduct yourself in a good manner. No, I think we're very similar to what the guys are saying on here. I think we've got a good opportunity tomorrow night to qualify. Hopefully things go our way, but very positive for the manager, upbeat, and slightly disappointed also the injuries to Lafferty and young Ryan Kent, but as the manager likely said, it gives someone an opportunity to come in, impress, and make a name for himself.
Aye, well said, mate. Rudy, quite positive sounding, the manager.
Sounds like it, true, yep. I don't see why not. As Mount touched on there, a bit disappointing about Ryan Kent, because as you heard there in the interview, true, it's one a bus for them. So they're going to come flying out the blocks at us, I would imagine. They're going to have a right goal, which leaves space at the back, and that's exactly where you want Kent. You want him playing right up top there, getting in about them at the back, his pace and his directness, causing problems for them. So that's a bit of a pity that he's not going to be there now, but it just means that possibly young Middleton will step in, and hopefully the boy will do a good job for us. We've got good players that we can bring on, that we can depend on when needed, and hopefully the team get in about them tomorrow night and we get that result, because he certainly sounds confident enough. Spoke really well to you again. Once again, great interview from him.
Fox?
I thought he sounded quite confident there. This thing that this club, we're playing Spartak Moscow in disarray at the moment, has been made a big topic by the Scottish press, as if if we get a result out there, it's not going to be much. But for me, I think it'll work two ways. I do believe they've got a manager in waiting who'll come in just after this game. Their players maybe want to impress the new manager. Maybe he's working behind the scenes that we've done when a new manager is hovering about or sitting in the stands, and he might have an effect on their team. But as Stevie rightly says, it's up to the way we play. If we play to our best ability, we're in with a chance in this game, and I hope we take it.
I hope you're right, Fox. Aye, definitely, but I'll tell you this will be a hard shift tomorrow night. I don't think this will be any walkover, mate. I think Rangers are going to have their work cut out for them tomorrow night, Mount.
I don't think it's going to be easy, True. I think we're going to see maybe more of an attacking team than we did at Ibrox. I think we're going to see them having to commit, having to express themselves. But I think as Conor Goldson and the managers did say in the press conference, I think it'll be refreshing to have maybe a team to commit and play against us. I think we'll see our sort of defensive sort of midfielders come out to play for us. But as I said, I think with a team coming out and wanting to sort of play football, hopefully it's an open, expansive game, and it'll allow our quality players to get more space. Ajari, I think, could be key tomorrow if he starts. I think that boy with a bit of space, and it'll be important to us. I just think it'll be a better sight than what we've seen against St Mirren on Saturday. 10 men behind the ball. It just doesn't do it for me. and I just think we'll have a better chance with teams coming out to play against us.
Aye, definitely, mate. We discussed that last night. We were talking about that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
What will you say, Rudy? Hard shift tomorrow night, mate?
I think so, true, yeah. I don't see why we can't get something from the game, though, but certainly it's going to be a hard shift. As I said there a wee bit ago, I think they left 6 or 7 players behind because of some kind of player dispute or something, like, you know, a dispute they had with the board or something, whatever it was. Anyway, they left 6 or 7 of them behind. I would imagine some of the players will come back into the team for tomorrow night, you know, and they've spent big money on some of these players, true. They really have big money, spent a lot of money on that team. And as I say, they've got a really good European pedigree, Spartak Moscow. They might not be the force they used to be, but they're certainly good European pedigree. They've got a good European pedigree. So for us to go there and take anything off them tomorrow night would be brilliant, actually. You know, I mean, I was a bit disappointed the game at home because I thought we outplayed them at home at Ibrox. You know, disappointed that all we took was the 1 point off them. You know, if only we could have got that 3 points, but that's gone now. We can't do anything about that. It's what we do tomorrow night that really counts now. And even although it will be a really hard shift, we've seen them put in hard shifts. You know, as I mentioned earlier, through none more so than go down to 9 men. You know, and they still pulled it off. So they've put in hard shifts away from home. Villarreal as well was a hard shift because they're a real quality outfit, and we came back with something for Villarreal. So I don't see any reason through why they can't do the same tomorrow night.
Same to you, folks. You were the man that hinted at it. You know, the press are playing them down, and you know that'll be a formality. I don't see it at all. I really don't.
Well, their midfielder Fernando is well reckoned. The Brazilian is well reckoned to be a really, really good player, mate. We managed to keep him out the game at Ibrox as we did with Zé Luís up front, who was another big money buy for them. Connor Goldson and Worrell dealt well with him in the first game. We'll need to see how attacking they will be from the off tomorrow. I think our midfield is in for a real heavy shift, and I hope the boys can keep Fernando quiet. Don't give away silly fouls outside the box where this guy can strike, because he's a bit of a dead ball specialist. And we just need to have a really disciplined formation out there tomorrow night. Everybody knowing their jobs, as I say. Don't give away stupid fouls. Work our butts off, close them down all the time. And I still think we'll get a result out there, mate.
Well, you're right, Fox, and I know you like a Brazilian, but now, Ryan Kent out, who do you see coming in to replace him?
I think for me, I'd like to see young Middleton come in.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, aye, nothing true. I think young Middleton deserves his opportunity. I think he showed that he's got the quality. With changing the game at Villarreal for us. I think it'll be interesting to see if we maybe change formation, but for me I would like to see young Middleton give it the opportunity. I think he's proven himself that and against high calibre European opposition in Villarreal, he's more a match for them.
Rudy?
Aye, Middleton for me too, true. He came on against Villarreal and made a big difference, huge impact when he came on. I thought, for such a young player too, I would like to see him get his start tomorrow. Pity Ryan Kent's out, because I really like Ryan Kent, and I know he's went off the boil a wee bit in the last 2 or 3 games, but then you could probably say that about most of the players. But Middleton for me, he's got pace, he's quick, he can get the ball into the box. So I would like to see him start tomorrow, and the boy must be absolutely champing at the bit now to get a game, because he's missed a few now, hasn't he? He's been on the bench. So for tomorrow night, it's going to be Middleton for me. I'm not so sure whether Grezda's up to it yet. I don't think he's fully match fit yet. So it would be Middleton. I'd go with youngster Middleton for me. True.
How about yourself, Fox?
I'm not sure about this position at all. What Ryan Kent done for us in away games in Europe was he took pressure off the defence by running with the ball and holding on to the ball when he got it up front. as I say, taking pressure off the defence. I think I would go with the experience, although he's not started his career at Ibrox greatly. I think I would go with Grezda, mate. I think experience wins over the youth in this case. Middleton's there if Grezda starts to tire, and he would be a good addition to come on late in the game, Middleton. But I wouldn't play him for the start. So it's Grezda for me, mate.
Well, I've got a wee lean in for Grezda myself, mate. Definitely, I think Grezda's got a better chance of starting than young Middleton, but I don't know, we'll see. A couple of good questions in the lobby. Big George is saying play an extra defender in for Kent. Stevie Scott, he's talking about, will it would be Worrell or Katic tomorrow night. What do you think, Mount?
I think it's an interesting debate. I think there's been a lot said about the boy Joe Worrell. I think he's come out with comments about wanting to return to Nottingham Forest. For me, we should be playing Katic, in my opinion. Katic, our player, is a bit. I think to be honest with you, to develop somebody else's players is not really my cup of tea. Being brutally honest, we're Glasgow Rangers at the end of the day, and for me, Worrell will ever be a bigger club in my opinion. That's just a personal thing on him, but on terms
particularly when we've signed a player for that position, mate.
Yeah, I know you've got your opinions on these things, but I'm very, very strong on that. I actually found the comments for the young guy a bit insulting towards our club, and I've not really taken a liking to him personally on it.
Well, you got me there, mate. Can you tell me about it? Has Worrell been saying he's want to go back to Nottingham Forest? Yeah,
so he made some comments, I think, a couple of weeks back about obviously wanting to, just talking about his time here at Ibrox and talking about his sort of future really, and his future sort of lies away from Ibrox, which is fair enough. Do you know what I mean? He's obviously came out with that, but for me, Katic is our player, and I think, in my opinion, Katic's a better defender than Worrell. And that's just my opinion on it, certainly, going forward.
Well, but Big George's suggestion is just put another defender in for Ian Kent. Would you go along with that?
I think it's a good argument. I think we need to. I think at periods of time we'll have a lot of the ball tomorrow, but I think it would maybe there is an argument for it, but I also think I would like to have a player like Greshna and Middleton with the pace that they have, potentially breaking on Spartak. So I think it's an interesting dilemma. But for me, I would maybe like to see, as you said, maybe somebody like Greshna or Middleton playing in that position.
What about yourself, Rude?
I think as far as the extra defender goes, I don't know. I'm not sure about that, because I think we're going to at times in the game have to soak up a bit of pressure, and I can see why you'd want the extra defender then. True, but if you're going to try and hit them on the break, you need pace in the park to do that. So I think you'd be taken away from the forward department if you started sort of bringing on an extra defender. As far as the argument goes between Worrell and Katic, I'm quite glad Worrell wants to go back again. It didn't really faze me all that much when he came out with that the other day, because I don't think he's Rangers quality, in all honesty, and I don't see any reason. I don't see why you would pay. Well, what did we pay for Katic? About $2.5 million or something.
Yeah.
$2.5 million. For a guy who's a Croatian international, and then you keep him out the team for a boy who's played for Nottingham Forest, who plays for Nottingham Forest. So I'm quite happy he wants to go back to Forest, because I don't see his long-term future at Rangers anyway. That's fine with me. I would go with Katic tomorrow night. I would really go with Katic, because the boy's got international experience. He's got European experience. He's played really well for us. I've been a wee bit annoyed, a wee bit flummoxed with the whole thing, the Katic Worrell thing as well. I don't really think Katic has done much wrong since he's been at Rangers. So anyway, I would probably go with Katic tomorrow night. But as soon as Worrell wants to go back to Nottingham Forest, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that.
Can I just come back in on that? I think as well. I think I'd like to say also as well that I think at the start of the season we saw Goldson and Katic in the European qualifiers in the start of the season. I thought the two of them were absolutely formidable, alongside Alan McGregor in goals. I thought their two centre halves and goalkeeping was absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't agree more with Rudy. The boy Joe Worrell's no Rangers class in my opinion, and I was just shocked with the comments that he came out with. I thought I was slightly flabbergasted, as Rudy said, about the boy's comments. But I just think that the boy Katic is a much better defender overall.
Let's put it this way, Mount, he'll never play for a team this size ever again in his career.
No many will, mate. No many will.
Yep, you're right, buddy.
What about yourself, Fox? Extra defender, or Katic or Worrell?
Oh, can somebody answer a question for me here? Is Gareth McAuley available to play tomorrow night?
Yes, he is.
He is?
Yep.
I could see he's gone 5-3-2, mate.
You really see that, Fox, can you?
Aye. Or possibly 5-4-1. With maybe 3 central defenders, and bringing Gareth McAuley. He looks fit enough when you see him in the training pictures today, and that might be a wee rabbit he'll pull out the hat tomorrow.
Who would your 3 centre-backs be then, Fox?
I wouldn't he be I think that Worrell will keep his place. I would prefer Katic myself, but I think Worrell has done okay in the European games.
Right.
But I think Katic is a better defender personally, but I think you might see Goldson, McAuley and Worrell flanked by Flanagan and Taverner. A 3 in midfield, probably Jack Arfield and Ajaria, and up Fred Alfredo and maybe Grezda, mate. We might go for a surprise change in tactic tomorrow night because of the young boy Kent being out. I think he might change things tomorrow night.
Aye, interesting, Fox, interesting point. But I think Big Katic, he's had one bad game since he came to us. That was a Hamilton game, And some of the guys, everybody in the lobby, if you want to ask questions, put them in the lobby and we'll do our best to, give your opinion. Bear in mind, we're just the same guys as you, we're no experts, but we'll give our opinion anyway. And if MDs want to join us, it's 0141 356 1972, or alternatively, if you send a friend request to Rangers Radio online, Fox will bring you in. But we've been joined by a close personal friend of mine. Evening, Shadow.
Evening, bud, how we going?
Aye, alright, what's in your mind, mate?
This extra centre back, this extra defender, I don't think it's a very good idea at all. I think it basically you're handing it.
That just because I said it, aye.
Absolutely, mate. I only phoned in because you said it, Fox. No, I mean that's just handing the initiative to the opposition. You want to get, it's also, I mean, we've all been going up in the recent games. Oh no, don't change the system, and then all of a sudden it's to change it to put another centre back on. Nah, no for me, boys. I think I'd just stick. Away game. This is one of the games I would stick to the formation that they know. I mean, you can always be a bit more defensive by perhaps playing Jack and Koulibaly as 2 holding midfielders, and just put Ajaria in front of him as supporting the front 2 strikers. You can be a bit more defensive that way, but I tend to stick more to what the lads know already. And as regards playing Katic and Goldson together at the start of the season against playing with Worrell, who's already a proven performer in Europe, I think Katic is far better in the domestic leagues, but I think Worrell has proved to be a better player in European games. But also remember, with Katic and Goldson, they had an informed Koulibaly in front of them at the start of the season, which I think would have made a big difference. And I think we've noticed the difference in the past few games, which for me, neither Goldson nor Worrell has proved quite as effective without the big fella in front of them.
What do you think of that, Mount?
I think I sort of get Fox's point on the extra defender. I think for me, I think Blue makes a good point with potentially maybe playing Koulibaly and Ryan Jack, as a two sitting midfielders. I can maybe see the sense in that being played. Maybe Jack the further ahead of the two of them. I think Jack's got a wee bit more passing ability than Koulibaly for me. But I think it's good that we've got these options. Personally, on the World side, I just think the boy Katic will give us a bit more physicality. But as I said, I think it might not be a bad shout potentially. Maybe Gareth McCauley as well if he is available in the European pool. But it's interesting. Been interesting dynamic. I think the big question for me is also that will we see Scott Arfield or will we see maybe a sort of Koulibaly and Ryan Jack play? I think that will also be an interesting sort of take on the midfield, because I think we'll know if somebody like Scott Arfield's playing, we'll maybe be looking to play more an attacking minded team, but maybe with Koulibaly, Jack and maybe Ajara we'll have a more sort of defensive sort of reckoning, defensive sort of side. So I think it'll be interesting to see how we go about it through there.
Aye, it's a bit of a guessing game how we'll set up. Do you see him changing things an awful lot, Rudy?
I don't think too much. No, I mean, as far as the centre back situation goes, talking about the extra centre back in there, far be it for me to disagree with Blue Shadow. I don't want to rag him, so I agree with him. I probably wouldn't go that way, I don't think. But I think I like the idea of Jack and Koulibaly playing in front of the back four. Yeah, just a wee bit more defensive minded, as far as the midfield goes. They're also going to have to get a grip of that boy in midfield that they've got, because he's real quality, that Brazilian boy. So they're going to have to get a hold of him as well. And Big Ajara, for me, could play in front of they two. We can Deus on the right, Middleton or Grezda on the left, but they're going to have to get forward, hit on the break with pace to support Alfredo when they get the chance, I don't think I'd go with three centre backs, sorry. I don't think we'll see McCauley, because McCauley's not played for us. I think he's played a couple of reserve matches, I think. But that's about it for him so far. I wouldn't chuck him into a huge game like this, a massive game, so no, I don't see him playing tomorrow night.
He done it with Worrell, mate, so you never know, but I think it'll depend. I think Spartak played their defensive game at Ibrox, folks. They've got to come out tomorrow night, or basically if they don't get one tomorrow night, I think we're out the competition, mate.
Aye, they are, pal. If results go for us, that is. But the reason I said that I think he might change it was the way he spoke in his press conference, that he thinks that they'll come out and go for us like hell for leather. And it's important we stay in the game in the opening periods. And I think he'll go for a solid defence, mate. Hope not to lose a goal. We can change it later on and go back to our 4-3-3 and bring on our speed merchants like Middleton and that, and Candias if we go back to our normal formation. But it's imperative we stay in the game. We don't want to lose an early goal and be under pressure right for the off. We've got 90 minutes to win this game tomorrow. And if we go hellful, I want us to play the best of our ability, but we've got to be smart. We've got to stay in the game, and we might be just a wee bit open playing 4-3-3. And I think he's having a wee thought to himself that he might try and withstand the barrage that's going to come for the first half, and maybe change things for the second and try and sneak the game at the end. I did hear him saying that. Our players are always in it to the death, but you've got to no lose the goals before that and have a chance of sneaking the win, mate. I just think he'll change things, and it's just my feeling, mate, that he understands how Europe works and how important it is to stay in the game for as long as you can, and then try and take your chances when they come.
He might go more with a 4-2-3-1 then, folks,
They could do, mate, but I think
that would be a good way to go for me.
I think it's
fair enough.
I think it's important. I think, as you said, I think between what Blue Shadow saying and Fox is saying, I think that there'll be really I think in between it will be where it lies for us. I think the guys are right. I think we're going to have to set up very, very cagey. I think for the first 20 minutes, I think it's almost going to be like how a team would come to Ibrox to play against us. I think we're going to need to probably withstand a wee bit of barrage. I don't know who it was mentioned, the boy in midfield. The boy in midfield is the boy we're going to need to watch. He is the sort of circus ring guy for us. He's got to be stopped. I think potentially Koulibaly and Ryan Jack being in there would be good for me. I think one of the boys mentioned the other night as well, but I think for me Koulibaly's got to be the actual sitting midfielder for me. Maybe with Jack just slightly ahead, because I think Jack uses a better passing range and uses a better forward pass than Koulibaly. So I think it's important that we, as Fox says, we keep it tight, certainly for the first half, and hopefully we can maybe counter attack. We are fast players as well, but I think it'll be interesting to see how we go tomorrow night.
Dare I mention it as St Mirren tactics?
I wouldn't go that far too. I don't think it's. I wouldn't go that far, but I think with a defensive-minded team tomorrow, I think it gives us the best opportunity to win the game. I think it gives us. I think we're going to need to. I think we'll all have chances tomorrow. We always seem to create chances no matter what. It's up to our players to go out and show that quality that they have done so far in Europe and take the chances. And I think their team showed that we can create. I think we'll be able to create some chances, but it's important when they do come along, especially in these big European ties, that our quality comes across and we take them.
We're clinical. We need to be clinical.
Absolutely.
I think as well, in terms of European tactics and everything else, I think we're certainly well equipped in Steven Gerrard's shadow.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Gerrard's well aware of playing several different. He's played in several different Liverpool teams. Some stronger than others. There's times where they've had to bolster up the midfield to try and soak up the pressure against the better teams. Quite often, not that successfully, to be honest. So he'll be aware of what all the shortcomings are. But I think we need to be very, very careful what you wish for, lads, because I think you could end up with a situation if you sit back. You're saying these St Mirren tactics. I'm not saying you're advocating that, but the St Mirren tactics. So that leaves that's going to create loads of shooting opportunities for that Fernando guy, 25 to 30 yards out. And with the reputation he's got, that's certainly not something you want to be doing. And we want to be playing a good, I'd say it's more a 4-5-1 and play further up the field. If you want to be stronger, then perhaps, Andy Halliday's been playing well at left back and put Flanagan in at right back. He'll strengthen up the back right hand side there and maybe bring Tab on at a later time. I wouldn't think that's the way Mr. Gerrard will go, but it's a possibility.
Guys, I think it's great the way we're talking here, just in the course of the conversation tonight. If you look at the amount of injuries we've got, Jamie Murphy, Graham Dorrans, Borna Barisic, Big Laugh, Ryan Kent, and we're still no stuck for options. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it's a good position we're in terms of that as well. But tomorrow night, I think, Fox, I'm asking the guys, Steven Gerrard's or anybody else better equipped in European tactics for us, mate?
Well, he's got it right so far in the games we've played so far, especially away from home. He's got his tactics spot on. We did play 4-3-3 in the games, but I've just got a feeling he's got something up his sleeve for tomorrow night, mate. I just think that we will change a wee bit, and I was only mentioning Gareth McAuley because of what he said, mate, that he knows that we will be under the cosh, but if we can stay in the game at half time, turn the crowd against them. The crowd are no all for this boy, it's in charge anyway. Get the crowd against them, frustrate them, and then maybe change it the 60-minute mark and go for it for then. And as I say, as long as we're still in the game, we've got a chance. If we lose a couple of early goals, it's good night from us, mate. It's no use being defensive then. So stay in the game as long as we can, and then go for it, as I say, after the hour mark and try and sneak a win, mate.
How about yourself, Rudy? Steven Gerrard well equipped?
Absolutely. I mean, you saw his European career, you'd be hard pushed to find a player that's got the kind of European, especially here in Scotland, you'd be hard pushed to find a player with that kind of experience. So he knows he knows how to win these games. He knows how to go about them. I heard somebody saying just before the Villarreal game on the radio that this guy's exactly been stacking shelves for the last 20 years, He's been all over Europe, he's played some of the toughest teams in Europe. He's had some great success. So, look, if he comes up with something a wee bit different tomorrow night and he gets the result we're all wanting, fair play to him. Absolutely brilliant, As far as keeping it tight at the back, you touch on what Fox was saying there, I said the same thing about 5 minutes before the game started in Villarreal to my mate, and then about 10 minutes later we were 1-0 down, and they showed some great qualities that night to come back, not once but twice. That was a fantastic result for me. Now, I don't see any reason why we can't do the same thing tomorrow night too. I really don't. As good as Spartak are, and they've got some really good players, as we were touched on there. That boy in the midfield's real quality, so he is. They're no Villarreal, as far as I'm concerned, but it's going to be tough. It will be tough, and if anybody knows how to get through this game, it's Steven Gerrard. But the players have to listen to what he's got to say. They've got to carry out. They've got to carry out his orders to the man. And they're going to have to work hard and concentrate for that full 90 minutes too.
Thinking back and thinking about it, I think that Villarreal result, mate, was one of your best results in Europe for many a year, That was to go 1 down, right away. I think it was 40 seconds the guy scored. I'm sitting watching it, I say, oh my God, here's the usual, just waiting for it now, But I think it was a fantastic result, Mount.
Oh, definitely true. I mean, I think we're breaking records in Europe this season. It's no coincidence that we've got a manager who has pedigree in Europe as a player. Is second to none. He's over 100 European games. This man knows how to play European football, and we've seen that. Grant you the league, that there is a debate obviously on the league a wee bit. But I tell you, this man knows how to. He knows how to get. He knows how to get a win in Europe. He knows how to get results in Europe. We're proving that throughout Europe. I was at the game in Villarreal, and honestly, it was one of the most proudest days for Wayne Rangers. I thought the team were absolutely magnificent, quality. That's the 4th, 5th best team in La Liga, truly. For us to get there and get a result and nearly win at the end, it just shows you how far our club has come under Steven Gerrard. Another thing, I think, just to reiterate on the league side of things, we're playing against teams who, in all honesty, are all hammer throws. We're not getting any protection for the referees. We're playing against teams who have got no ambition to win the games against us. It's got to take a wee while, got to take a wee bit more quality, a wee bit more sort of a Ronald de Boer-esque type player, or maybe a two-guy type player that's going to unlock these defences. For me, Steven Gerrard is the man to deliver 55 for us. And for me, guys, at the last 32, I think if we can get a good result tomorrow night, then feel ahead. For us, I'm just immensely proud how far our teams came in the last 6 or 7 years. It's been a good journey. Put it that way.
Yourself, Shadow? I'm saying the Villarreal result, it was one of the best in Europe for a long time.
Oh, it was an absolutely, mate. It was an absolute excellent result, excellent performance. Had absolutely everything for us at that time. There was skill, there was determination, the spirit to come back from going down when you've gone down away in Europe. What means, as Fox is keen on pointing out, a very young squad, and they still had the wherewithal within them to come back not once but twice, and it was just a excellent performance all round. Only if we could have nicked a goal at the end, that would have just made the night for us. But if we could see, they also had chances at the end, so we can't complain too much for me. I just hope that we could rediscover that form, and perhaps this is with the pressure off, as far as I'm concerned, because it's not league duty, which is where we want to see the majority of the focus of the team. So for me, the pressure's off a bit, and hopefully they can come out and rediscover that form tomorrow night.
Rudy?
I have absolutely no doubts. We've got the quality players there that they can make a difference. We don't, as I think it was Fox was saying, we don't need to go gung-ho for the first sort of 25, 30 minutes of the game. You know, we need to be in the game come half-time, getting out the game. I mean, we proved in Villarreal. I was absolutely buzzing after the Villarreal game. I can't talk for anybody else, but I didn't think we'd go there and get a result, in all honesty. It was talking us up, obviously, because you say that, you know, you want to try and show a bit of confidence. But I thought, young team, very few of them have actually played European football. It's a new team, new manager, just been put together. They've done really well in the qualifiers. But when you come up against a quality side like Villarreal, you know, who were sort of third, fourth in the La Liga last season, and you think to yourself, this is going to be some game here. And then when they score within about 45 seconds, you're thinking, oh, here we go. You know, you're thinking, we're going to take a bit of a thumping here. But it didn't turn out that way. You know, they showed great credit to them for the way they came back, you know, after going to go down so early. And then they come back a second time and then almost winning it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Villarreal had a couple of really good chances in the last few minutes of the game. They could have won it as well. But, you know, to come away there with a 2-each draw at Villarreal and their ground and then come back, you know, with a point for the first game was just absolutely brilliant. If they can do that against Villarreal away, they can certainly do it against Spartak Moscow tomorrow night.
Well, I'm sure we all hope you're right, eh, Fox?
We hope we're right. I think, being honest, that Villarreal underestimated us, to be honest with you. I think they just took us as any other. The way Scottish teams have been in Europe for years, that it'd be a wee doddle for them. And I think they were surprised at the quality, the speed of our players, and the chances we did create. And to come back twice, not just once, we came back twice. And I think that gave them a wee fright. They'll not take us lightly when they come to Ibrox this time. And that result alone has made the other two teams a bit wary, as I think, you know. But Spartak Moscow have had a good look at us when they played us at Ibrox, mate. We didn't have a great first half, a better second half against them. But they've seen us play. They've played against us, and that's how I think we need to do something a bit different. They'll know what to expect if we go out and play 4-3-3 tomorrow night. They'll have studied us and looked at any sort of weaknesses they can find. And I think if we change things about, we could go the same way. They'll not be expecting us to change things, and I think that's how we could get a result tomorrow night. They'll be looking at us in the 4-3-3 formation, and if we don't start off like that, it might give us a wee benefit, a surprise, and maybe we could get the early goal instead of them.
I think you're right there, Fox. I think there's a couple of things in it for me. If you're Spartak Moscow, Villarreal and Rapid Vienna, and you look at that draw, you say, well, you know, Glasgow Rangers, no, they've been in trouble for years, you know, they'll know the end. Alright, they've recently appointed Steven Gerrard, but they've got a whole new team, you know. I don't think they would rate us at all, Blue Shadow, eh?
Yeah, I mean, they would, at the start of the group, they didn't rate us at all. They got a surprise. As well as that, though, with Villarreal, I think they weren't playing that well at the start of the season. Did they no sack their manager or something? I can't exactly remember. I think they did. So this was them coming back for it. But they seem to have hit the ground running now with spanking Rapid Vienna 5-1 the other game. So I think they're going to be a real handful when they come back to Ibrox for me. I think tomorrow night's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. But if we want to go through, then having not done the job at Ibrox, we've got to do the job across there if they want to qualify out of the group stages for me in this one, because I don't think we can rely on getting anything from Villarreal at Ibrox. Anything we get from that game is going to be a bonus for me.
Well, I'm much like yourself, Shadow. I think it'll be different rounds this time. You know, I think we'll see different teams and how they set up against us and how they play against us. Mount.
Well, definitely. I think it's I just think it's European style football. You know, I think it's going to. I think also, as I said, I think tomorrow night it's going to be a tough game. I hope we can get an early goal, as the guys are saying, but as I said, I think we'll see. We'll see. I think maybe Fox is onto something. You know, the press conference saying maybe we'll probably try something a wee bit different. But as I said, I'm just really excited to play about tomorrow night. I think it just it's what being a Rangers fans are all about. Games like tomorrow night, and it'll be great to see how we go on.
Rudy?
I think tomorrow night, keep it tight at the back, don't lose any goals going forward, maybe get us into the first, maybe sort of 30, 35 minutes of the game without them scoring if possible, and you'll start to hear their fans getting on their back a wee bit, you know, and then we can probably try and bring our quality into the game. Villarreal probably did look at us in the first game and weren't that bothered, you know. They were a wee bit like, it's alright, it's Rangers. Maybe they looked at the baton the Tims have taken all over Europe in the last few years and they thought, well, wait a minute, you know, this team finished behind them, they won't be a problem. I don't think that's the case now. I think teams have, you know, some of the performances that we've put in now, the teams in our group are looking at us and they're not going to take us, certainly Villarreal won't when they come to Ibrox, they'll not take it as easy as they did. They've had a bit of form now, you know, and they're playing well. Their top players are starting to step up, you know, and I think my mate texted me at the time about 5 of their players and he's telling me how much money Villarreal had spent on them, and it kind of amounted to about 70-80 million, just about 5 or 6 players, you know. So they've spent huge amounts of money, you know. We want to get into the position, hopefully, starting with tomorrow night, that we get the results between now and the Villarreal game, where when we get to that game, it doesn't matter what happens in it. That's what we need to get to that game. Hopefully we get to that game and it doesn't really matter what the result is because we've qualified, and that for me starts tomorrow night, Drew. If we can go there and get the result tomorrow night, I'd be absolutely delighted with that, because it would more or less put us through if we could do that.
Aye, different games this time, Fox, eh?
Well, another important result was Villarreal beating Rapid, mate, because that means they qualify. And when they come to Ibrox, they play Barcelona 3 days later, so they might send a reserve side there because they've qualified and have a big game against Barcelona at the new camp 3 days later. So that could fall into our favour as long as they get a result. As we say, it's no do or die for Rangers tomorrow. We've got 2 more attempts after this, but it's important for me that we don't take a tank in there and, as we say, stay in the group, stay in the game, hopefully steal it out there, and hopefully Villarreal send a lesser squad to Ibrox. We're having such a big game on the next Sunday. So we've got 2 attempts for me to qualify here. If we don't do it in the first one, maybe we can do it at Ibrox against Villarreal, mate.
Aye, it'll be a tough ask, folks, but talking about tough ask, my wee pal Ali Bally's making a Christmas pudding and she sent out a request, if anybody's any silver threepennies, could you please send them to her? But if the rest of us could all go on mute, I'm sure Fox will entertain us with a wee cultural interlude.
It's a place of great pain. It lies to the northland, and Ulster's its name. It has only 6 counties, but all are renowned, and its emblem is a red lion. Now the Germans came over in the year 41, and they tried to destroy us by bomb and by gun. But our history will tell them of others who tried. Our sons defended Ulster, how they fought and they died. If a baby should speak to in his old rebel town, he will speak of our friendship. Why can't we be one? Just to point to the red man, topped by the Queen's crown. Say we're side by side with Scotland, and they won't let us down. Like I'm brothers and sisters, that is all toast as one. That is ring to our Ulster, its heroes and sons. And while we are toasting to names we must join, that of William, Prince of our race, and the thanks of the boy.
There's a wee spot in Europe, hopefully we'll be filling it. Listen, I think maybe the Rangers' advantage this time, and certainly in this Europa League for me, I don't think we're under any pressure at all, Shadow, eh?
Not for me, mate. Not for me. As I said, for me, whatever we get out of Europe's a bonus now. The main thing for me was qualifying for the group stages. If we get out into the next round, that's great. That's a fantastic achievement. But for me, the focus is on the league. That's what we want now. I'd go as far as to say I'd go for the league as number one priority, followed by the Scottish Cup, followed by the Europa League.
Fair point, mate. Mount, no pressure on the Rangers?
There's always pressure on the Rangers, truly. For Glasgow Rangers, we go into every game expecting to win, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's why we're the most successful team in the world. It's why we have success. It's not even close to any other club. I think tomorrow night is an opportunity. We should see it as an opportunity to go and qualify if things go correct. Our players are more than good enough to play to the potential and play to a good system, and can get there and give us the chance to qualify. But as I said, there's always pressure at this special club that's Rangers, and that's why we are the most successful team in the world, truly.
Okay, mate, Rudy, what about yourself? Pressure, no pressure on the club?
I think eventually, and me and my mate were talking about this afternoon, eventually through this European undefeated run's going to come to an end, unfortunately. But they're not going to keep doing this. This is not going to keep happening forever, and I'm just hoping it's not tomorrow night, really do. I would love to see us qualify out the group. Is there pressure? I agree with Mount, actually. I think there probably is a wee bit of pressure on the boys because we've got such great European hopes. This is where we all want to be. We all want to be back again. I know some of the Bears think the league is more important in Europe, and I think it is as well. Because if you give me the choice right now between the league title or we're not going to win the Europa League. It's as simple as that. We're just not going to win it. So if you give me the choice between qualifying at the group or the league title right now, I would take the league title all day long. But when you pull that blue jersey on and you're playing for Rangers and you're in Europe, you're playing for us when you go there. So it's incumbent upon you to play well. It's incumbent upon you to put up a good show, for the club and for the fans. So there is pressure on them tomorrow night. And I think it was Fox said you don't want to go there and take a battering. That's the last thing you want. Last thing you want. So for me, there is pressure through. Aye.
Okay, mate. Fox.
No, I said last night, I think this is a free hit for us, mate. All the pressure that's on Rangers this season is in the league, and the pressure surrounds the players at our club at the present time. They're getting it for the media, they're under pressure for the fans ourselves. But this is a sort of game where I don't think we're under pressure. I think it's, I honestly think it's a free shot, mate. It's, as I say, it's no do or die for us. It is for Spartak Moscow, and that's a good position to be in for us. As I say, as long as we stay in that game, we're in with a chance of winning it. And I think it's a game with no pressure on us at all, honestly, true.
Fox, you know the Rangers support as well as I do. See, we go there tomorrow night and we take a battering, and we come away there and we get an absolute drubbing and come away with there tomorrow night. You'll see pressure. You'll see it for the Rangers support.
I doubt that, Rudy.
I don't know. Fox, I don't know.
I don't think so. Oh, sorry, Blue, on you go.
Sorry, but I totally agree with you there, Fox. I don't think it is at all. I think if we got beat 5-0, say, away to, I don't know, whoever, Aberdeen or the Manx or whatever, against getting beaten 5-0 away by Spartak Moscow, we would be the reaction would be 10 times as bad as it would be tomorrow night. Hey, nobody's going to like it if we get a spanking tomorrow night, is it like that? But I'm just hoping that, like I said earlier on, I just hope that I think the pressure will be off them. The reason it's that, you're totally removed from the cauldron of Scotland that they've been in recently and across the other side of Europe. And if they can find a form again that they've been struggling against so recently, because this team will come out and attack them, I think this is an opportunity for the team to find its feet again and hopefully go back to the way that we're playing before the international break. Unfortunately, just as another international break's about to come up, but there you go.
See, the thing, Blue Shadow, I was going to touch on earlier on. We were talking about, maybe playing Ryan Jack and Koulibaly in front of the back four. Koulibaly's got to start finding his form again, because we loved him, so we did. We thought he was great, before he got the injury. He's not been half the player he was before he got that injury. But this is a perfect example for him. If he gets a run out tomorrow night, if he's in the team, this is a perfect example for somebody like Koulibaly to find his form again and shows how good a player he actually is, because he will be needed, if he's in that position, front of the back four, and that boy they've got in the midfield, he's going to need to up his game. He's going to need to up him, so yes.
If I could just come in on that, Rudy, the thing is with Koulibaly is, for me, and a little bit on the guy's side, is the fact that he's been played in the wrong position. For me, I think he needs to be played in the centre of that defence. As I said earlier, Ryan Jack is far more expansive. He's got far more in his locker in genuine footballing terms than Koulibaly has. I'm not saying he's a better player, he's a different player.
100%.
Put it at the centre, and I think we will see the real Koulibaly back again, and I'm hoping that's what happens tomorrow night.
I hope you're right, Blue Shadow.
Koulibaly's got to be deep. If we're going to be playing at the midfield, Koulibaly's got to be the deep line midfielder and give Ryan Jack. Ryan Jack's a more technical passing player, though Ryan Jack can play that type of role. Koulibaly, I agree with Blue Shadow. I think Koulibaly's been played a wee bit further up the park because of the Arfield situation, but no, for me, 100%, Koulibaly's got to be the deep line one tomorrow night. He'll then show his real quality as he did earlier in the season.
I think they all need to have a bit of form tomorrow night, guys. Fox mentioned it earlier. Keep your shape, make sure you do your job, and I think we'll come out it pretty well. But having said that, I'll contradict myself now and say I think it'll be a different game there, and a different Spartak Moscow than Moscow we've seen at Ibrox. Having said that, what do you think he'll do at left back, Shadow?
I think it'll be Flanagan. I think he'll play Flanagan there again. He's played Flanagan most of the time all the way through Europe, apart from the one or two games that he played with Barisic there when he was fit. So for me, he's the number one choice there. The interesting, the big question will be will Andy Halliday make an appearance tomorrow night? Because he's been playing well the last couple of games.
Yep. What about yourself, Mount?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think you're absolutely right, True. I think we're going to have to have a wee bit better form. But I think you know, it's, as I said, I think we've done really well in Europe, and I think hopefully the boys can get there and express themselves and have the opportunity. But as I said, we're going to need to be at our very, very best to win tomorrow night. But as I said, I'm just can't wait to the game to come along, and you know, hopefully the guys can turn up and use a good performance.
What about the left back slot, mate?
I like Halliday there personally, mate. I think a left footer gives us better. A natural left footer gives us better opportunity to clear things. I see the argument for Flanagan, but for me, I would go with Halliday personally.
What about yourself, Rudy?
I like Andy Halliday this season. I don't think many has actually thought he'd still be here, in all honesty. True, I think Steven Gerrard's got some really good performances at Andy Halliday. Really good, steady performances. You know, there's one or two shouts for him being man of the match in a couple of games this season. Thought he's played really well. He should sell out to be a bit of a utility player, regardless of where Steven Gerrard plays him. He's put in really good performances. But I don't think you'll see him play left back tomorrow night. I think he'll go with Flanagan tomorrow night, because I think Flanagan's played there in most of the European games, and I think he'll go with his tried and trusted tomorrow night. And I think Flanagan will be in at left back instead of Andy Halliday.
All right, mate. Fox, who'd be your shout?
I think he'll go for Flanagan as well. Andy's no let us down in most of the games he's played, but I think he's better in the midfield than he is at left back. I think he's easily turned, Andy, when he's at left back. He has no pace, mate. If they've got a speedy winger against, I'm not saying Flanagan's quick, but Flanagan knows all the tricks under the sun, all the dirty tricks under the sun, mate. He's an experienced pro, European experience he has got, and I think he'll plonk for Flanagan myself.
It could be, but anyway, we've been joined by Jimmy from Knightswood. Evening, James. How are you?
No another central defender. Oh dear.
Aye,
Is it working, dude?
aye, you're working, aye.
I'm all working. How you doing, guys?
Can I give you a wee tip, Jimmy? Sign language doesn't work on the radio.
You know what I was doing through? I was wrapping 5 pence coins with tape, see if I could get to the meter as 50 pences.
Wee Ali Bally's looking for silver threepenny. She's making a Christmas pudding, mate.
Oh well, I'll maybe get some of them. I'll go and check it in. How you all doing, guys? All right?
Aye, good pal. What's your mind tonight?
I was listening tonight. I had a few things to do tonight, so I was at the show, and while I was doing what I was doing that, and a lot of good points she's made. I'm quite confident tomorrow, guys. I think the gaffer will go out there and put the team out that he knows can do the job. Talking about Flanagan and Halliday, and I'm a wee bit torn here who I would play in that position. No, I probably would go for Flanagan. Although I do think Andy Halliday's come on to a game now, in Europe for us in some league games, but we've got to rely on the gaffer bringing the team to the part that he wants to bring, you know, and it's a pity that Ryan Kent's injured. That kind of puts the span on the works for us, but Koulibaly and Jack's got to perform tomorrow night, guys, and big time. And I agree with what Fox said there. This is a gimme for me, a freebie. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not really caring if the team doesn't get the result. It's a freebie. We didn't expect to be here. The league's a be all and end all, and I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. I think we'll perform well. I don't think we should be under any illusions. I heard some of the comments about, I mean, we can get this crowd on our back. Don't be fooled by that. I mean, I've never been obviously in Spartak's ground, but I've got some friends who have been to Russia to see the football and that, and they're a passionate crew, and they will get behind their team no matter what. If we do, unfortunately, go down 1 or 2, and I don't want to put the the kibosh and that, then it's our backs against the wall. I'm not into this an extra defender at all. I don't think we should get down that road. I know what he done it for a few games in the Champions League, and it worked for us in a certain way. But no, for me, because he plays a formation that he knows that he can perform in the game and maybe even win the game. Because as Blue said there as well, and so did Rudy, we've got good, competent players there, good players that can win the game. Mount Vernon said that as well. You know, we've got players on the park tomorrow night, hopefully, that can turn the game and win it for us. Look, we're blue noses and we've got to be in there with confidence. So let's see what comes out after we see the team tomorrow. But I'm optimistic, guys. I'm looking forward to the game, and I think that we'll perform to the best of our abilities, which I think we're more capable of getting a result.
Aye, fair enough. Shadow.
Aye, for me, you say, we can't sit too deep because that's just inviting them onto us and it'll cause us problems. And I don't think we've got the defence that could handle that anyway. Certainly at the minute, we need a bit more experience at the back. We may well do it in a couple of seasons, but I wouldn't try it just now. It's not like we've got like old Papach and whatnot at the back there. So for me, as per usual, it's the midfield that's the key to this game. If they could get stuck in, by all means, tuck in the fullbacks. Fullbacks would perhaps not venture forward for the first 20 minutes, play our way into the game. And so we've got to have Cadiz. We know we're going to get a shift out of him, so he'll work his way back and into the midfield and put a foot in here and there. The key is who you're going to play on the left-hand side. I can't see Middleton or Gressler being one to put a foot in. So will perhaps the manager go for somebody else there? Maybe Andy might be a surprise and put Andy Halliday because he has played on the left-hand side before, and he'll just be that bit more physicality on the left-hand side than the other two. I know Andy's no super physical, but he's more liable to make a tackle than that pair for me.
I don't know if he'll change it that much, Mount. He's not getting much, if anything, wrong in Europe this season.
No, I know what you're saying. So I think what we've got to do tomorrow night, I think the key tomorrow night is we've got to get a set-up that is probably more defensive, similar to maybe like the Maribor game. I think we've got to. I think we'll play a sort of more a counter-attack game. But I think for me the key will be tomorrow in midfield. I think how we set up in midfield. I think left back. I think left and right back will sort itself out. I think it's just my opinion, certainly on the Halliday, but I can see the sense that the guys are saying about Flanagan coming in at left back. But as I said, we'll have a solid base, and that's where we need to work from. In terms of changes, I can see what the boys are arguing for. For me, the key is two good solid central midfielders with Koulibaly, deep line, and Jack will be the key for us, I think, tomorrow night.
Rudy, do you think he'll change it a lot tomorrow night or at all?
I think
not get much wrong in Europe, mate, for me.
He certainly hasn't. 11 games unbeaten, you can't complain. Got us through the qualifiers, got us into the group section. I don't think many of us would have thought we'd have got into the group section. But the guy's just touching a couple of good points there. Mount was talking about mentioned the Maribor game there. We got to the point in the Maribor game where for the last 10-15 minutes of that game, they couldn't find a way through us because we were defending so well. They literally resorted to lumping the ball into the box in the last 10-15 minutes of that game, Blue Shadow mentioned the midfield. I'm a great believer in this, True. I say this time and time and time again, and I've been saying it for years. See your midfield, they win you games. It's your midfield that wins you games. See your midfield can grab the game by the scruff of the neck. 90% of the time you win the game. That's where games are lost and won, is in the midfield, in my opinion. That's why we've lost so many times to the Tims over the last couple of seasons, as we haven't got hold of that midfield yet. They need to do that tomorrow night. Whoever it happens to be, whether it's, Ryan Jack, Koulibaly and Ajaria, or any other combination that you want to mention, whoever it is that's in that midfield really has to get a grip of it tomorrow for me. They have to defend when required, and they have to move forward at pace when required as well when we're hitting on the break.
Rudy, who do you have on the left-hand side? With Kent being away, because remember Kent was a converted fullback, so he could put he could put a foot in, and he was good at working back. He knew what to do. I don't think Grezda or Middleton have that in them. Would you go for somebody else?
I don't know, I wouldn't. I'd go with Middleton, to be honest. But I'd make it plain to the wee man that his job is to get back and help Flanagan, who I think will be at the left back position. You let him know before the game, look, son, you've got a right shift ahead of you here, because he's pacey, he's quick, and for me to score goals tomorrow night, you're going to have to hit them on the break, Blue. You know what I mean? And I don't think Andy Halliday does that for you. You know, Andy's played well, don't get me wrong. I said it just a wee while ago there. I didn't think, and I'm sure most of us didn't, that Andy Halliday would still be there. Steven Gerrard's getting performances out of Andy Halliday. He obviously likes him, but I wouldn't play him on the left. I really wouldn't, because I don't think Flanagan's got much pace, and Andy Halliday hasn't got pace either. So I think if you put the two of them on the left, I think you're restricting yourself a wee bit. You know, as much as I like Andy and his performances this season, I'd still go with Middleton on the left because of his pace.
I think the thing for me, you're talking about Andy Halliday, Rudy, it just shows me how little I know about football and picking a player. You know, I thought Andy Halliday would have been out the door.
Yeah.
I thought his Ibrox career was over, but Steven Gerrard seems to rate him, Fox, you know, and he's brought him back into the fold.
I think Andy Halliday has won the Gaffer Air. I think it's his commitment to the cause, mate, and as I say, he's not let us down in any of his performance. But going back to what we were talking about is maybe counter-attacking, mate. The only means we've got a counter-attacking is my midfield going forward and helping out whoever's up front. And to do that, they need to know that the back door's locked. And that was my only reason for thinking the 5-3-2, mate, where they know that they've got plenty cover at the back, because the midfielders will need to commit themselves for us to earn chances in and around their box. And if you're playing four at the back, you're going to have to hold one of the midfielders back. And I'd like to see the three that's playing go from box to box tomorrow night, because they need to help out the attackers if we have to score earlier. And as long as that back door's locked, as I say, they can do that with confidence for me, you know.
Mate.
I'm just looking there, guys, at the team that we put against Villarreal. Obviously, it was McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Worrell and Barisic. Koulibaly, Halliday and Arfield, Candeias, Lafferty and Kent. So, obviously, for me, I'd be taking out Worrell there and putting in Katic. And then in the midfield, obviously, with Koulibaly, we've got Halliday and Arfield. So, obviously, Ryan Jack's going to be in there. Would we? Oh, so any 3-4. Obviously, Candeias is going to be there. Big Laugh's injured. We put Fred in there, and obviously you've got a space for Ryan Kent was going to fit in. So I think I heard Fox saying earlier on, I would go with Grezda. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I heard you wrong there, Fox. I'd give him a chance again tomorrow night. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking at. You know, I'm looking at the team that played against Villarreal, especially in the second half. They played very, very well, and I thought Scott Arfield did a great game that night. So it's where you could fit Halliday in. Do you play that same team the other night at the expense of Ryan Jack? I don't think so. For me, Ryan Jack's got to be in the team, and obviously Fred replaces Laugh, and obviously I would like to think that maybe Grezda would replace Kent, and Worrell would, for me, I'd be showing him the door with a big boot right up his ARC, and give it to a man that we've paid money, 2.3 million for, is Katic. So that'd be the way I would go. I'd go that 4-3-3, guys. And I think that's a team more than capable of coming back with a result.
Aye, your thoughts on that, Shadow?
Fair enough. But the one thing that does strike me straight after by putting Katic in, who's played once since the past 5 weeks? I think that might be a bit of a risk because they've not played together, and Worrell has been the one who has played well in Europe. So I think I would go with him. I totally agree with Jimmy. You know, in regards domestically, I'd far prefer to play Katic than Worrell. But it's also as well, there was all the talk about Worrell before he came up. Would he get the game time? And I think someone's been nailed down to make sure that he does get the game time. And this is where we're coming up against the problem with all these loan players. They've got to have X amount of game time, and it is affecting our own players. So we need to get that sorted out next, over the close season for me. But I say for me, the key one's going to be if you play Grezda or if you play Middleton. I don't care which one you go for. Neither of them's totally proven on the left-hand side, but they've got to work back and give the young Flanagan a hand, because otherwise he's going to be left exposed on that left-hand side, and it's something that we can't afford to do.
I know what we're saying here, guys, about changing systems and players and setups and everything else, but I think back to the Aberdeen game, and he brought in Umar quite simply, so he didn't need to change the shape of the team or anything else. I don't see him changing it that drastically, Rudy.
I really don't. I agree with you 100%, True. I think he'll bring in a kind of like for like as far as Kent goes, and I think that's why it'll be Middleton, possibly Grezda. I don't think you'll see an extra defender. I think you'll see Jack and Koulibaly playing in front of the back four. Probably Ajaria in front of them, I would think. Either him or Arfield. So I agree with you, True. I think he's a wee bit loath to change things too much. And then you've got the other side of the coin, whereas if he does change things too much, makes a big change to either the formation or the first team, the starting 11, you would go there and we take a batter, he gets pelters for it, not just after the press, but after Rangers fans. Why did you do that? You've made a big change there. What works for us, we should have stuck to it, so I agree with you, True. I don't see big changes tomorrow night. We'll go with a sort of 4-2-3-1 or 4-5-1. And it'll be a kind of like for like as far as Ryan Kent. I'm a bit disappointed that Kent's not playing, because I really like Kent. So he had a wee bit of a slow start to his career at Rangers, but then he certainly came onto a game. But you could also say about something, most of the team really, the last 3 or 4 games, they haven't really been up to what we watched sort of previously in the season, certainly in Europe anyway. So Kent he's fallen out of it a wee bit for me, but he's still got that electric pace. And I love the way when he's got the ball, he can go by 3 and 4 players at a time, Players absolutely hate that kind of, coming up against that kind of player. So it's disappointing for me that he's not there tomorrow night. The change for me will be either Middleton or Grezda on the left side, doing the same thing that you would expect, that you normally expect Ryan Kent to do. Won't be big changes for me, True. I agree with you.
By yourself, Foxy?
I swear, I wouldn't play Koulibaly, mate. I'll probably be the only one that thinks that as well. I think it'll be very important, the passing tomorrow night, and I think he's one of the weakest at passing in my side. Okay, he gets about a bit and he does close people down, but I think we need Scott Arfield in there, along with Ryan Jack and Ajaria, to support the front players, mate. Koulibaly, for me, he's a lone player. Nobody talks about him like a lone player. He's just like Worrell. Koulibaly could play well tomorrow night. He's in the European shop window. It's no any given that he's gone to Rangers. I think if he had a great game tomorrow night, it would make his value soar to teams looking in. But out the 3 midfielders that we've been talking about, Arfield would be better in there than Koulibaly for me, because we're going to need players that can get forward and pass with a bit of purpose. Scott Arfield's done well in Europe for me, and I think he should be playing tomorrow night, and Koulibaly on the bench.
That's all about opinions, folks. I find it interesting with Jimmy. We're an hour and a half into the show now, and we've no mentioned Tavernier. How important is he going to be tomorrow night?
No, I think it'll be vastly important for us, True. We all know that. He's a player that, I use the word enigma, a lot of people don't like him in the position that he's in, and they think that he should be allowed to go forward and play a bit more forward role. But I'm happy the way that Tav's playing. I know there was a lot of, I mean, I think a couple of guys on the panel and all were talking about that they would drop him and things like that. And the hard thing about that is dropping the Rangers captain, traditionally it's not a thing that's done, and Stevie Gerrard didn't go down that road. But he'll be a tremendous player for us tomorrow night. Along with the rest of the guys that he's playing in the back four, they'll be vastly important for us. I can see where Fox is coming with Arfield and Koulibaly. I can 100% see that. Koulibaly does owe us a game. He's been blowing hot and cold the last few games. I still think, like Andy Halliday, I think he'll do a job for us. I thought the job he done for us there in Villarreal was fantastic. But I mean, if I had a choice, I would go for Arfield, Halliday, and I probably would go for Arfield and Halliday. Would I go for Koulibaly? I don't know. I'm a bit torn between that. I would probably stick with Koulibaly, Halliday, and Arfield to start with, and see how that transpires. But then I suppose, Halliday, Arfield, and Jack. I'm torn there, mate. I would probably, if my heart rolled my head, I would probably say Halliday, Arfield, and Jack, and bring Koulibaly on if needed. That's probably the way I would go. I'd agree with that to a certain point with what Foxy said. I would go with Arfield, Halliday, and Ryan Jack, mate. Definitely.
Aye, fair enough, pal. But I think it's interesting. We're looking at different combinations, and we'll come back to Tavernier, play Shadow. But I think a refreshing thing for me with Steven Gerrard is, they do their video stuff, they do all their homework, they know the opposition they're going to be facing. I think he puts his team out, to combat that. I think that's the way he's been going with it, and I'm quite happy with that. In comparison with Warburton, it's what we do that matters. I understand that, but you've got to be aware of the opponent as well. But Tavernier tomorrow night, for you, Shadow, it's been blowing a bit hot and cold, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that is the thing with Tav, and it's something you're never going to take out of his game, because it's he does blow hot and cold going forward, and also a bit defensively as well. But I think the difference is that people should be aware of is, if you're looking at a traditional fullback, which some people may well see as preferential tomorrow night. If you look at Flanagan, he's more like your traditional fullback. Tavernier is more like a wing, for me, is a wing back. And so there's always going to be a slight weakness for him in his defensive game against playing somebody like Flanagan on the right-hand side, although Flanagan will be playing the other side, I'm sure. But it's balanced out by what Tavernier can give you going forward. Now, I think the main thing that needs doing is, I hope Stevie Gerrard's been nailing it into him all week. He says, for the first 20 minutes, son, you just stay where you are. You cover that right back position like you were a traditional fullback. I do not want to see you over the halfway line, until we get ourselves into the game. As Fox was saying earlier, did he go mad for if we could catch him on the break and get a goal, fantastic. But we shouldn't be pressing too high up at the pitch. As long as we can get in, if we can get in at half time and we're still 0-0, that's fine. If we can because the pressure will become on them more and more, and if we can possibly get a goal in the second half, and we can bring on additional flair players. So that's why. Sorry, I know the question was a bit tough, but coming back to midfield, you've got to play Koulibaly, Jack, and Ejaria for me. If you want to be more attacking later on, then bring on the players like Arfield or whatever else in midfield.
Aye, interesting. Rudy, your thoughts? Tavernier tomorrow night, mate?
He's got to be very mindful of his defensive duties for me. We've seen Tav, I think Jimmy used the word enigma there. It's probably a good word for Tav. Sometimes you watch Tav and he's exceptional. He's getting up and down that wing, and I've always been of the opinion with Tav that he's never a proper fullback in a million years, Tav, and as Will Shadow said, he's more a wing back. But when he's gone forward and he's on his game and he's got that thing going with Candace, he gives you so much on that right-hand side of the park, so he does, you know. He creates chances, he scores goals, he scores penalties. The last few games, his set pieces haven't been great. You know, he's been struggling to get the ball by the first man. Well, he's got to sort that out tomorrow night, because any chances that he gets, you know, whether it be free kicks, corners, if he's taking corners, he needs to sort it out. Because in the last couple of games, Andy Halliday's been taking the corners, and he's been way better than Tav has. Right, so traditionally this season we've been looking to Tav for these set pieces. He's got to get back to that again for me. You know, he's got to get back to assists. He's got a load of assists in the last couple of seasons. So he's got to get back to that again for me. When Tav's on his game and he's absolutely flying, you wouldn't pick anybody else for that right back position, in my opinion, because Flanagan wouldn't give you going forward what Tav gives you. You know, but we need to see that again off him tomorrow night. But he's got to be very mindful, as Blue Shadow said, his defensive duties, because they are going to commit the traps. They'll commit the traps at us. They'll absolutely batter us for 20 minutes, and we need to make sure we stay in the game. And a part of that for me is Tav getting his defensive head on and making sure he does his defensive duties. And Candace comes into that for me as well. He's got to get back, as he normally does. You normally get a great shift off Daniel Candace. He's got to get back and help Tav out. They've got to work as a team, the two of them. They've got to work as a team. And whoever's on that side of the park for Spartak Moscow, they've got to make sure they're onto them. And they're tracking their runners and they're working back when needed.
Interesting to hear, mate. You know, and it is interesting how we seem to perceive Taverner as not a very good defender. Although, you know, he's scored higher than any other. He's the top defender in the UEFA. Interesting that for me anyway. You know, what do you think, Fox? I know you're a
word straight out my mouth, mate. He's rated the highest defender at right back in the European competition so far, but we all think he's useless.
No, that's no true.
Come on, I'll tell you what. Tav wins more tackles for me in his defensive role than any other of them across the back four, mate.
You think
he's no bad in the air for the size of him. As you see, when he wins more headers against when the ball goes out to the wings, and with McGregor's great distribution that hits at high to him all the time, he out jumps whoever he's against and gets his head in the ball most times. I think the thing goes back to Tavernier in the Scottish League, mate, because he's a committed right attacking right back. It's always his position. This is what you always hear. It's him at suitor position. That's because he's up the park trying to score goals for us, mate. Tomorrow night you'll probably see a disciplined Taverner, Tav, as we have seen in Europe in the previous games. And I think we totally underrate that boy. And see, when he does go, I think we'll see what we're missing, mate.
Can I come in there?
Aye.
I think it's a wee bit unfair, Fox, to turn around and saying, like, I mean, somebody think he's rubbish. I don't think that Rudy or any other guys, and especially myself, we never said he was a rubbish right back. What we did, the word I use is enigma, and that's as an all-round player, I don't think that he's got it 100%. I agree with what you're saying about the UEFA stats and things like that, right? But we're talking generally as a player. You know, we know what he'll bring to the game. But I think it's a wee bit unfair to turn around and say that because we've got an opinion that we don't think that he performs to the best of his ability every game, that you can turn around and say that we're all thinking that he's a rubbish right back. We don't think that at all. We think he's a cracking right back, but sometimes we just think that he doesn't carry out the duties that he should be carrying out. So I would stand by my comment and say I think you're wrong to say that we all think that he's a rubbish right back. We don't think that, but I personally don't think that. I didn't come on and say I think he's a rubbish right back. I just used the word enigma because sometimes I think that he plays himself out of position too many times. And that might be just in Scottish football, as you've maybe said, but I don't think he's a rubbish right back, and I don't think that's the comment that any of the guys are making here.
No. Let me answer that, Rudy. I never said that any use. This is the most Rangers supporters have a go at him, mate. it's always Tav's fault. I never mentioned them on the panel, mate.
No, well, no, I never say, right, well, whether they're on the panel or no, right, I mean, I'm a Rangers supporter, so if you're saying that Mace Rangers supporter, so I'm a Rangers supporter. I'm not on here the panel as a Partick Thistle supporter. I'm a Rangers supporter and I'm on the panel and I'm saying, I think that your comment's wrong, so it's not an argument, it's just the fact is that I agree with what you're saying to a point, but at the same time, I'm not a Rangers supporter that thinks that he's rubbish. So, I mean, you've got to balance it out that way. He plays well in Scotland. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. He plays well in Europe. He's playing very well in Europe at times. And he's rightly got the accolade as being the top UEFA defender in that aspect. But I certainly don't rate him as a Rangers fan. Never mind on the panel. As a Rangers fan, I don't rate him a rubbish right back.
But the thing is, mate, in general, when most people talk about Tav, they pick his faults out first. You know, I mean, that's the first thing we hear, that he's always out of position and blah, blah, blah. And instead of praising the guy, he's a good player, Tav, mate. Compare him to Flanagan, mate. Who would you have on the park first?
Of course, folks, I would have. You know, I would have Flanagan at the door, the Mora. You know, if we could find somebody that would play. I mean, I don't see why he's played in that position. He's not got a left foot, but the gaffer seems he deems him fit to play there. But I mean, of course, a lot is criticise Tavernier, but we criticise every Rangers player, and that's what as Rangers fans we're entitled to that. But I still stand by what I said. I mean, I know you're not picking an MD on the panel now, but I'm a Rangers fan the same as everybody else, and I'm no criticising Tavernier for any other reason than the fact is that, I'll use the word again, I think he's a bit of an enigma. He blows hot and cold for me, and he's cost us some goals the other season. But you know something, I'll back him 100%. I would have him in my team tomorrow. I mean, you were the one that said a couple of weeks ago that you would drop him. You said you would, and I wouldn't drop him. I'd have kept him in the team. But so, I mean, you can't say that one minute you're going to drop him, Fox, and then the next minute you're saying that he's the best defender that we've got. So you can either have it one way or the other. But as I say, I mean, for me, he's got to play tomorrow. And the back four, he's got to play along with Goldson. And he'll probably will play with Worrell, but I'd rather he didn't. He'd play with Katic. And maybe Borna might not get the game because he's match fitness. But I'd rather see him there.
I never said I would drop him, mate, for footballing reasons. I said I would drop him because he had played in every game and he was looking a bit tired. That's a completely different thing. Would you agree that he's our most consistent performing over the season, mate?
Aye, I'm not arguing that point, Fox. What I'm saying is, I will stick by my word. I use he's an enigma because sometimes he frustrates you. But I think he's a cracking player. For me, he's a captain of Rangers, which we'll not get into that, but he wouldn't be the captain of Rangers for me. I've said to you I want my captain of Rangers, but that's not going to detract for the way I feel him as a player. I think he's a very, very, very good player for us, and he performs the duties that he can. In Europe, he's played well, but sometimes in Europe, he's lacks a concentration. Sometimes leaves a wee bit to desired, and that happens quite a lot in the Scottish game. So, you know.
See, just to touch on a point that you made there, Fox, you're right about him going forward. You know, there's no another right back in Scotland as good as Tav, in my opinion. There isn't. It's just as simple as that. There's no another right back in Scotland as good as Tav. Going forward, creating chances, taking set pieces until the last couple of games for me. And he's not really been on it for me. But that doesn't mean to say he's a bad player. It doesn't mean to say I think he's rubbish, because I wouldn't play anybody else in that position. I really wouldn't. There's nobody else at the club right now would take Tav's position. It hasn't got the accolades that he's been getting for UEFA because he's a rubbish player. He's been getting them because he deserves to get them, in my opinion, you know. And he's getting attention now for down south. If the rumours are true, Brighton are now deciding, they're talking about coming in with a bid in January for him. And I think you're right, Fox, what you say. See if he did go in January, I'd be loath to see him go in January, because who are we going to get in that position? Would we be able to bring somebody in that position that right back position in January, they would give us, going forward, what Tav gives us. No, I don't think we would be able to. And I think we'd lose so much away from the right-hand side with Tav not being there. I'm just making the same point as Jimmy's making. All I'm saying is, folks, tomorrow night he's got to be more mindful of his defensive duties. He's a wee bit lax in that sometimes for me, but that's because he's a modern style of fullback. And as Blue Shadow said, he's more a wing-back than a fullback at times, you know. And he is. The way he gets up and down that side of the park's brilliant at times. But tomorrow night is going to be one of the games where he's really going to have to concentrate on his defensive duties for a bit, you know. And when he gets the chance to go forward, by all means take it, because him and Candace do well on the right-hand side for us. But when he has to be back in his right-back position defending, he's got to make sure he gets back there quickly and he doesn't get caught out of position. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that I think he's rubbish. I'm not saying that at all, folks, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say that about him, because I don't think he is. I think he is a good player, and I think we would miss him. As you said, if he went, we would miss him, certainly.
But I think looking on the positive side as well, guys, you know, with Candace and Tavernier, I think the Russian left-back's going to have to be on his game tomorrow night. For me, I think James Tavernier suffers a wee bit for being a Warburton man, coming in with Warburton in that Scottish Cup final against Hibs. You look back at that, you know, wow. And I think James Tavernier is still suffering a wee bit for his performance that day. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know.
You've also got the performances through to at Tynecastle, where he cost us twice at Tynecastle, you know.
Well,
so, he's had moments where he's totally messed up and he's cost us points, you know. But then, there's other games as well, True, where he's won his points, you know, he's scored.
Aye, without a doubt. Listen, mate, I've made no secret, I'm not the biggest Tavernier fan in the world, but what I would suggest is, since Stephen Gerrard comes in, he seems to be a better player, he seems to have added another 10-15% his game, Blue Shadow.
Absolutely, mate. You know what I mean? With Tav, one of his biggest failings is the fact is, if you'll excuse the term, his discipline and his pitch geography is, you know, sometimes he's just not, he's just no back where he should to be when he needs to be against these better teams, and he sometimes has to curb that desire to get forward, because he's definitely the forward going side of his game is better than his defensive game, and for me, as I said earlier, it's a balance. You know, if you want somebody who's an old-fashioned right back, who's really great defensively, you're just not going to. It's very unlikely that you will get the same sort of thing that Tavernier can give you going forward, because that's just part of his game. But moving him up into right midfield is certainly not the right idea for me. It would just take away from his game, because it doesn't give him that room to run into. And also as well, you know, I say he works well with Candace ahead of him, and he can play it back, and you know that's the position that Tav swings in some delicious balls that the strikers can attack.
So we're all in agreement then that Tav's brilliant. That's fine, thank you.
That's 2 nights in a row, you're getting pelted, Fox. That's not very bad, is it?
I deserve it, mate, I deserve it.
He's just a troublemaker. I'm telling you, just a troublemaker.
But it was interesting, you know, Shadow, you're talking earlier about Tavernier, and you're saying he's a wing back rather than a right back. I've been saying that for a while. I think you're one or the other, but then again, I know nothing about the game, you know. I don't profess to be any kind of expert, but that's the way I see it anyway. What about you, Jimmy?
He's still recovering from his last run.
Oh, Rudy?
I agree with you. I said that. He's a wing back. You know, he's the modern style of fullback, isn't he? Whereas Flanagan's the opposite. Flanagan will never give you going up that left side what Tav gives you going up the right side. That's because they're different styles of fullback for me. You know, Flanagan's more your traditional fullback. You know, alright, he's been played at a position, he's on the left-hand side, he's not got a left foot, we all know that. But he's your traditional style fullback, whereas Tav isn't he? Tav's more your modern day fullback, and this is what managers want. They want fullbacks like Tav. Why do you think Brighton are interested in him? You know, and I think West Bromwich Albion were looking as well, looking at him, you know, because this is the modern day fullback. That's what they want. They want fullbacks that can get forward, they can get up, they can create chances, you know, take chances, set pieces, all that stuff. You know, he's a wing back. He's never a proper fullback. No, a tradition in the traditional sense of the word, or you know, the term fullback. Tav isn't that. But we certainly would miss him. You know, the point that Fox made about him, if he went, would we miss him? Of course we'd miss him. You look at the amount of assists that he's got in us. You know, you look at the amount of goals that he scores. You know, the chances he creates for other people. Of course we'd miss him. But he's not a traditional fullback. That's the only point I'm trying to make. You know, and I'm sure Jimmy was doing the same. You know, he's a wing back more than anything else. You know, and you can't be both, in my opinion. You can't be a Flanagan, a traditional fullback, or a modern day fullback, which is more like a wing back for me. You can't be both. You can only be one or the other, because if you're going up the wing, you're flying up there, creating chances, getting other people into the game, scoring goals. You can't be back defending, you know, when somebody hits you on the break at pace, you know, and that's where he's maybe found a wee bit wanting, you know.
I mean, for me, we've got two. We've got two of them. We've got, you know, when everybody's fit. Because you've got Tavernier as a wing back on the right hand side, and Barisic as a wing back on the left hand side. And I think we can see, due to the lack of balance in the team since Barisic has not been there, where we've got a full back as opposed to it. That's why we're so much stuff is coming down the right hand side at the minute, because we don't have Barisic coming up the other side. But if you played four at the back with that, you need a central defensive midfielder, and young Koulibaly to me will be ideal, or McCrory, you know, either one of the two of them. I'm not going to get into that argument for this sake, but because he can fall back and create a back three if both fullbacks decide to go forward at the same time, which, you know, in some cases you can do if you've got that defensive midfielder that can fall back and create a back three and lock up the back door just in case you get broken against.
Aye, okay, mate, the other couple of guys, we know what Daniel Candeias gives us, we know what Alfredo gives us as well, but we've not mentioned Alfredo. Important role for him tomorrow night, Frocks?
Just want to see a typical Alfredo display, mate. Strong on the ball, hopefully turning defenders, and if he gets a chance, which he has been doing lately, I think it's 8 goals in 9 games, take that chance. There'll only be many chances tomorrow night, and if it falls to him, I hope he's good enough on the night to put it away. He's our biggest hope for a goal tomorrow night, and I hope he plays his usual game. I think the Rangers fans really love Alfredo, and there's nothing more they'd like to see tomorrow night as him hit the winner.
Aye, Jimmy, you back?
I'm here, mate. I was away for a couple of blackjacks and fruit salad. Sorry about that. Didn't think you'd come in and speak to me so soon.
Blackjacks and fruit. You eating sweeties?
Ah, of course I'm. I'm on the behaviour rate. I'm just eating sweeties. Come on, give us a break, man. It's Wednesday night before a fight or a football.
Right, okay. Alfie tomorrow night.
Well, we know what Alfie can do for his, you know, it's Fred, I like to call him. You know, we know he works hard to get the goals, and the goal against St Mirren there was a class goal. But again, we've got to hope that well, it's not obviously going to be Kerr. It was Gressler or Middleton with Candeias help him there to get the goals that we know that he can score. Ajaria, for me, if he plays, we don't know. We're all speculating here. If they can help him in the midfield, especially whoever's going to be the floating midfielder to drive forward and do the box-to-box stuff, whether it's Halliday or Arfield, we don't know, Koulibaly or Ajaria, they can help Fred to get the goals that we know. One goal, guys. You know, one goal, whether it's a win or it's a draw, as long as we score. Fred will perform the best way that he knows how, and I've got every confidence in him for tomorrow night. Definitely, he'll perform for us tomorrow. True.
I hope you're right there, Jimmy. I hope you're right, mate. Shadow.
Yeah, for me, Fredo plays usual game, the standard thing. The only thing I just hope with him is he doesn't get too frustrated, because I think he may well spend a fair amount of time isolated tomorrow night. So he's going to get balls played up to him, and he's going to have to work really hard just to even give the midfield chance to get up and get support to him. So he's got to try and not get too frustrated, the wee man, for me. As he can, as we all know, he can perform miracles, or he can miss sitters. So let's just hope he's on the former, and he can perform a miracle tomorrow night and hit an absolute cracker.
He's got to keep a level head, Rudy, eh?
Aye, definitely. Everybody knows how. They think they know how they can get at him, don't they? And it happens almost every game. Alfie gets a hard time, but he's got to keep it. He's got to keep his cool. He's got to take the chance. If it drops to him and he gets the opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net. What you'll always get off Alfredo is a shift. He puts a shift in, an immense amount of work. He plays up front in his own. We don't have anybody else at the club right now, True, that could put in that kind of shift. No the way Alfie does it, So we're certainly going to need him tomorrow. If he's going to try and keep their centre backs busy, Alfie's going to have to put in a shift, and I'm sure he will. I'd love to get him. I think it was Fox said there maybe about getting the winning goal. Whoever it was, I would love to see that as well. I'd love to see him banging in a winning goal. The fans love him to bits. If he scores the winning goal tomorrow night, just adds to what we think about him already.
Fox, last word to you of the night, my friend.
Last word to me. Come on, James Taverner. Hit the winner tomorrow. Never mind Alfie. James Taverner can hit the winner for me tomorrow.
Brilliant, Fox. Brilliant.
Go on, Rangers. Give us a result we can all be proud of. And when we come back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, we're all sitting there buoyed up. That's what I'm hoping for tomorrow.
You've got another 30 seconds to go, Fox.
That's enough for me. There's not enough time to start an argument.
You start a song, though.
Sure
it is. Cut out of time.
I was doing my Matt Monroe there.
Were you?
Aye.
I was going to do a bit of Jim Reeves there, but I'm no bother.
You see, tear the arse out your throat, do your trousers him. Welcome to my world. Got that Anderson guy that does the funerals on the telly, him, so he should.
Come on, Fox, get these tunes on, for God's sake.
The 40 ounce of Friday already, is it?
Oh dear.
Right, Fox, get Patsy Cline on and get that show on the road. Anyway, guys, all joking aside, Jimmy, Rudy, Blue Shadow, Fox, as usual, for the technicals, and Mount Vernon for calling in. Another interesting discussion tonight. I hope tomorrow night we're raw and in such a good mood. Come on, Rangers, get to Russia, do them, and we can march on out of this, exceeding all expectations for anybody. But anyway, this has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back on tomorrow with a pre-match show, I'm assuming, Fox.
Oh, just the usual match day, 9 o'clock start, mate.
9 o'clock, so be there, but I'd like to thank everybody listening on YouTube, on Twitter, and all the bears in the lobby. A part's been no bad in there tonight, but there you go. So, come on the Rangers, and good night everybody. This has been
From a guy so young to Glasgow City they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know their ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, born. 54 titles, we're still going strong.